from Thailand. That is the bell for round number 1. And a nice soft start, a nice friendly start, very calm. Phannaluk in the red corner takes on Jittamat in the blue corner. Please just ignore those graphics on the screen with some of the names. They have changed just a little bit, but now they're back to the right names. Jittamat Phomta in the pink shorts with the blue, taking on Phannaluk Kongsang in the dark green shorts with the red trim. Both fighters just exchanging jabs. A very calm start. A very typical way for Thai fighters. This is the first round to just have a very calm start. Try and find your range. Try and get some information on your opponent. But the size difference here is very, very obvious. Jittamat needs to be very careful. She doesn't give too much away because Phannaluk just likes to walk forward almost like Antonio Margarito. Just walks forward and chops you down with the height. And we haven't seen too many big punches landed just yet, but an attempt there as both fighters get involved in the corner, and Jittamat goes to the body. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to just take out a taller fighter. You need to go to the body as much as you possibly can. This is an 8-round battle. Take away their gas tank and the head will eventually fall. A very calm start. A nice 1-2 landed upstairs by Jittamat. Jittamat goes downstairs with a right hand and nearly eats a counter by Phannaluk. But Jittamat now just turtling up as Phannaluk starts to find her combinations. Less than 20 seconds to go of round number 1. Jittamat throwing out some feints as well, trying to get a read on her opponent, but Phannaluk has a good poker face. She doesn't give too much away. And both fighters exchange jabs in the center of the ring. And that is the end of round number 1. A very to get started. Round number 2, Thailand takes on Thailand. Phannaluk Kongsang takes on Jittamat Phomta. Jittamat in the pink shorts, Phannaluk in the green shorts. Both fighters in the center of the ring, very calm again. Jittamat is usually like this. She's very much on the back foot, likes to throw that big right hand that we just saw. She's very known for this. Steps back with the right hand. She's coming off a very recent victory as well in Pattaya, where she was the underdog in a fight, but just stuck to a very basic game plan and ended up winning the fight. Very nicely done by Jittamat. I'm a big fan of hers. I think she does very well on the back foot. Phannaluk needs to use her size. She needs to start jabbing, throwing that right hand. Try to be a little bit more intimidating as well. Now, I say that because Jittamat went up against a very, very scary fighter in the last fight, and she did win. And again, she was the underdog. She was supposed to lose, it seemed like. I mean, everything was stacked against her. She was against a veteran, but Jittamat found a way to win. It was a beautiful victory as well. I advise you to go on YouTube and watch that fight, as both fighters are now in the clinch, exchanging. Notice how both fighters do not grab each other. They're just inside the pocket, exchanging combinations. Very nicely done. And again, Jittamat just very calm. Phannaluk also calm. Not much of a facial expression from either of these fighters, which is usually a sign of determination of who can win. A very nice right hand attempted downstairs, and a right hand followed up by a left by Phannaluk, and she's starting to put these combinations together, and a right hand through the middle. Jittamat's got to be very careful. She doesn't take too many of these because Phannaluk is now coming alive with a combination. This is very much like Miguel Cotto when he fought Antonio Margarita. Very much a tall fighter against a shorter fighter, but Phannaluk just coming alive with the combinations, chopping down Jittamat towards the later half of that round. And a right hand downstairs after the bell. Throw that big right hand upstairs. Anyways, we are going into round 3, scheduled for 8 rounds. Thailand taking on Thailand. Phannaluk in the red and green shorts takes on Jittamat in the pink and blue. Both fighters in the center of the ring, exchanging jabs, trying to find their range. And a big right hand attempted by Jittamat, does not find the target. And a big right hand again, but she eats a counter from Phannaluk. And Phannaluk again does what we saw and eats a right hand down the middle. A beautiful right hand timed perfectly. And she's now got Jittamat thinking twice about this. What is Phannaluk going to do with this? Is she going to take up the opportunity? She's already knocked Jittamat back with a big right hand to the guard. I'd like to see Phannaluk now just take the fight to Jittamat. She knows she's got the fight. She's got the power. She needs to push forward now. She knows Jittamat is a back foot fighter, but I think Phannaluk has got the size and the aggression that can beat Jittamat here. But at the same time, remember, this is an 8-round fight. I think Phannaluk is just waiting for the later rounds to come alive, but we will see. Jittamat throws a jab downstairs, and a right hand attempted by Phannaluk, and a right hand again. And this is where we see Phannaluk usually come alive with combinations as both fighters get involved in the clinch. A very respectful clinch again. Both fighters breaking without using the referee. Very nicely done. A nice jab and a right hand by Jittamat. She eats it in return, and Phannaluk comes forward with a nice combination and gets Jittamat into the corner as both fighters get in the clinch, but Jittamat is relentless in the clinch and still throws an uppercut in between. Jittamat just needs to be a little bit more active, otherwise Phannaluk is going to bully her in there. 10 seconds to go of round number 3, scheduled for 8, and a big right hand swings and a miss, and right at the end both fighters get involved in the clinch, and that is the end of the round. We are going into the next one very soon of this super flyweight fight. Let's see some action replays here, and that was a clean right hand down the middle landed by Phannaluk, but Jittamat ate it very well. The one thing counter. Anyways, that is the bell for round number 4. Thailand takes on Thailand. Phannaluk takes on Jittamat. Jittamat in the pink, Phannaluk in the green, and both fighters a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more active in this round. Phannaluk starting to piece combinations together, and Phannaluk should just start marching forward now. Start marching forward with the jab. Start chopping her tree down. It's exactly what she needs to do. Jittamat starting to go onto the back foot. She waits for her opponents and throws a big overhand right, and there it is, and it just misses the target. Jittamat, when she gets that right hand going, she's very good with it, but Phannaluk is so tall in comparison that it's hard to land, and it'll land on the shoulder more often than not. A right hand down the middle. Jittamat just dancing around now, but again, not doing much. Phannaluk could just start using the double jab with the right hand, maybe going downstairs to bring the guard down of Jittamat. I'd like to see Phannaluk just take it to her now and stop taking the back foot and just go forward. Phannaluk does not need to be on the ropes. Jittamat does not need to be in the center of the ring. They need to flip it now. Jab and a miss by Jittamat. Jittamat needs to be more active with that jab. Give Phannaluk something to think about to set up your overhand right. A very classic trap is to keep flicking the jab to the body, and as soon as your opponent expects that jab to the body, you throw the overhand right upstairs, and it usually lands clean. I'd like to see Jittamat throw that overhand right with some intention as well. And both fighters, some nice clinch work as well. That is the timer for 10 seconds to go of this round. And a right uppercut lands clean by Phannaluk. And a nice jab as well. Beautiful round. A very exciting round indeed. I think Phannaluk takes that one again. And let's see some action replays here. And this is where we saw the scramble, where both fighters were just getting off any combination they could. And that was when both fighters exchanged jabs. But the longer fighter is always going to look more impressive. If you both land the jab at the same time, the taller fighter will always look like it's landed cleaner. And there was that evasion, followed up by an attempted right hand. And this is where she had her on the ropes, but didn't do. Number 5 now. Thailand takes on Thailand. Phannaluk takes on Jittamat. Jittamat in the pink and blue. Phannaluk in the red and green. And a nice combination by Jittamat. Both fighters now in the clinch. Phannaluk just starts to tee off in these moments. And I don't understand why Phannaluk's not just going for it now. Phannaluk's got the size and the length. She could just start flicking those jabs. And that right hand lands on the forehead. And both fighters involved in the clinch once again. We see a nice parry, but this is where Phannaluk starts to come alive, and she feints, but does not do anything with it again, biding her time, possibly for the later round, or she is intimidated by the power of Jittamat again. Jittamat has got a beautiful overhand right. When it lands, and there it is. Jittamat does land with that overhand right as both fighters get involved in the clinch once again. A nice war so far by both of these fighters. And this is where Jittamat is at a disadvantage. Phannaluk has got the long reach. She could just keep flicking that jab out. Jittamat needs to try and cut off the ring instead and get her opponent into a corner and then start throwing those combinations. Because right now you're just allowing Phannaluk to bully you into a victory. Phannaluk just walking towards her opponent. And this is exactly where she needs to be, come alive. But as soon as they get in the clinch, it's almost as if Phannaluk takes some time off. All you have to do is push your opponent away and start throwing those combinations. Attempt at a jab, some nice footwork by Phannaluk. Jittamat just stays in the same position, waiting for Phannaluk, and throws that right hand to the body. 10 seconds to go of round number 5. And remember, it's who finishes the round stronger usually wins in these exchanges. And a very nice combination landed towards. And that is the bell. We are in round number 6 already. Phannaluk in the green and red takes on Jittamat in the pink and blue. Both of these fighters from Thailand. And a nice combination by Phannaluk. And a double jab of a right hand lands. And then she takes a step back and waits for another opportunity. Jittamat holding a very high guard. Needs to be very careful when she walks in. Phannaluk could just throw a rear uppercut. And this is where both fighters do very well in the clinch. And a nice double jab. And what will Phannaluk do with this? She's now starting to throw from all angles. But we know Jittamat never gives up. She likes to be the underdogs in these fights. She likes these exchanges. Jittamat is not scared of a firefight for sure. And Phannaluk holds the center of the ring exactly where she needs to be. Just needs to fire that jab off just a little bit more. I'd like to see Phannaluk just keep firing that jab, doubling it, tripling it, and then throw the right hand upstairs or downstairs. And a big right hand upstairs attempted by Jittamat. And both fighters again in the clinch. I'd like to see fighters in the clinch to start firing shots as well. There's no reason to take time off in the clinch when you're not tired. Phannaluk lands another combination. And it looks like both of these fighters are very aware of each other now. And it's who's going to take that opportunity. And a big right hand upstairs again. Phannaluk just starts firing combination after combination. Jittamat needs to do something to give Phannaluk something to worry about. Otherwise, Phannaluk is just going to constantly tee off on her opponent. But Jittamat is taking the fight to exactly what she needs to do. Sometimes you need to bully the bully. Jittamat steps forward with a nice 1-2 downstairs. 10 seconds to go of this round. And a right hand upstairs lands by Jittamat, but Phannaluk fires one of her own, and I just don't think it's enough. I like that Jittamat took the fight to her opponent, but I still think it's too little too late at this stage. Let's see some action replays. So that's when both fighters are in the clinch, and Jittamat was just throwing some nice body shots. Here was that punch that just bounced off the shoulder. And look, Jittamat always ready to throw the counter. As soon as the punch lands, she throws a counter. And that is the bell. We're going into round number 7, scheduled for 8. Thailand takes on Thailand. Phannaluk Kongsang in the red corner, wearing the green and red shorts, takes on Thailand's Jittamat Phomta in the pink and blue. Both fighters in the center of the ring, throwing haymakers at one another. And they get involved in the clinch. And this is where they need to be more active. And very nicely done by Phannaluk to just keep the activity going. Looking energized and not allowing the judges to think she's tired. Phannaluk now marching forward, getting her opponent into the corner. But Jittamat, every time it looks like you can count her out, she finds a way to pull something back. And like I said, Jittamat always fights like this, always fights with determination. And a big overhand right just misses the target. Jittamat needs to push the pace now. She's going to lose this fight if she does not push forward. Phannaluk is now just dancing her way to victory in my books. She's done just enough to win the fight. It's been nearly even, but I think Phannaluk is just edging it, almost 65-45 at this point. And a beautiful one landed by Jittamat. It was a big overhand right. And we see Phannaluk now just gets her opponent on the ropes, but doesn't do much with it. Jittamat needs to throw the right hand to the body as well. Start trying to bring the guard down of her opponent as both fighters in the clinch, and Phannaluk comes alive. And Jittamat does not take any time off in that clinch and just starts throwing everything she's got. I really think the corner of both of these fighters need to warn them that they need to be more active as well and start pushing the pace. And a big jab of a right hand by Jittamat. 10 seconds to go of round number 7. Both fighters starting to scramble and throw more. But we're going to go into an 8th round. I think both of these fighters need to go for it now. On my unofficial scorecard, I do have Phannaluk winning just for her counter-punching and her activity. And the punches have been a little bit more clean. I do appreciate Jittamat's aggression, of course. All right, that's round 8. The bell. Phannaluk in the red corner, and she eats a right hand from Jittamat Phomta. Exactly what both of these fighters need to do. They need to push the pace. Phannaluk takes no time and just starts firing a relentless combination of her own, and times a right hand as well as she keeps smiling at the clock. We've only got 1 minute 30 to go of the round number 8. It is just a case of who wants it more now. Jittamat Phomta just needs to just walk forward and just go for it. She lands a nice jab downstairs of a right hand, but Phannaluk fires a right of her own. Some nice combinations. Almost looks like Phannaluk is just waiting for the right moment, but when is that right moment going to be? Both fighters now in the clinch, and it's been an absolute battle so far by both of these Thai fighters. And every time Phannaluk dances around, she smiles. Looks like they're both having a good time, but she throws a beautifully timed right hand onto Jittamat, but Jittamat does not go down to anything. She is a very solid fighter, and a nice right hand again lands by Phannaluk. Phannaluk has finally found her timing. It only took 8 rounds to find it, but here it is. It's landing clean. And there it is again. The right hand follows as she goes in for the clinch. And I think Phannaluk is very much aware that she's winning this fight, and there's no reason to do anything else. And a big right hand attempted by Jittamat, but that's all it's been. It's been a lot of attempts without anything going through. And unfortunately, these punches are not landing clean enough for the judges. I think Jittamat has allowed this fight to get away from her. Phannaluk has done just the bare minimum to win this fight. But both respect to these fighters because they both put on an absolute